In part 2 of this orientation video, I'm going to show you a few key features in Cengage Now. So once you've logged into Cengage Now, following those directions on Blackboard, you'll come to our course here, and under Announcements, it will typically default to Assignments I Can Take Now. So you'll notice the first assignment that you see is the Intro to Cengage Now. Remember, every assignment's a prerequisite for the next, so once you complete that one, the next assignment will become available to you, and so on and so forth. That's why it's vital for you to make sure you print out that homework quiz and test schedule so you can see what assignments you have due for each chapter. You can also click on all assignments to see all the assignments that you have this semester, how many times you get to submit them, time allowed, so on and so forth. And under here, called Assignments I Can Practice Now, I've created a practice set for every chapter. It's not graded. You can take it as many times as you want. You can check your work as many times as you want. And you don't have to answer all of the questions that are included in that practice set. So for example, if you were going to look to do the practice set for Chapter 2, you'll see that there's a lot of questions that are included in the Chapter 2 practice set. This one alone has 20 questions. You do not have to do all 20 questions. If question number 1 was something that you felt you needed some more practice with and that was the only one you had to do, you could just do that one. Or if there was 4 or 5 of them that you wanted to go through, you could practice the material where you feel that you need a little extra help with. Students have said in the past that this is one of the things that they've really felt to be so helpful before taking an exam, is running through some of these practice questions. Down here, you can check your work an unlimited amount of times. No matter how many times you check your work, it's not going to give you the correct answer. So if you want the correct answer, you are going to have to submit that assignment for grading. Again, if you just did question number 1 and you hit assignment for grading, it's going to give you that warning, double checking with you whether or not you want to submit the assignment. You can submit it because it's not actually graded, those practice sets. And when it comes up, it will then tell you what you got, and you can click here to view assignment results. When you click on that, it's going to show you the answers you've entered for any question that you worked on. It's going to give you the correct answers for any questions that you've attempted, and it's going to give you some feedback. So that feedback might be some reminders. It might actually be the calculations on how to arrive at the correct answer. So that can be extremely helpful when you're looking to find where you're having your difficulties. So make sure you go in and view those assignment results. And when you go back here, you'll find that you can retake that practice set. Every time you go to retake a practice set, it will regenerate every single one of those questions. So in Chapter 2, all 20 of those questions will regenerate with new numbers and new information. So there's an unlimited amount of practice that you can do in those practice sets. So please take advantage of those. Also, under the Grades tab, as soon as you submit an assignment for grading, so you submit a lecture assignment or a homework assignment, your grade will post here, and it will be in a blue link. So when you click on that link, it will open that assignment up again for you. And same thing, it's going to show you the answers you entered, the correct answers, and feedback on how to arrive at the correct answers. Learning from our mistakes is one of the best ways that we learn. So make sure you go in here after you submit an assignment and see what you had incorrect, because that's going to help you remember when you move on to either the next assignment or onto a quiz or a test. Those are the things that are going to stick out in your mind of knowing what you had done wrong in the previous attempt. Also, you definitely want to look at what you had incorrect if you want to do the attempt again. So if you want to take the Chapter 2 homework assignment part 1 again to improve your grade, come in and see what you did wrong first, learn from that, and then move on. All of that information is going to be included here. For your quizzes and for your exams, the correct answers will not be available until 7 p.m. the day after the due date. So you'll be able to see your score immediately, but you will not be able to see that feedback and the correct answers until the day after the due date. So just be aware of that. Also, when you're in assignments, as I mentioned, your assignments are going to be broken into what I call lecture assignments and homework assignments. So lecture assignments are short video assignments that give you a little bit of an overview of a certain amount of learning objectives. So you're going to watch the videos and then you're going to answer some questions. Take this as an opportunity, kind of like as if you were in a face-to-face class and getting some of that lecture information. So really pay attention to those videos, the terminology, the examples that they give to you. So here you're going to click on the link, watch the video, and then answer your questions. So this covers 2 of the learning objectives that are in Chapter 2. You get to check your work 1 time per question for lecture assignments. So there's 5 questions here. Each one of these questions you can check your work 1 time for. So once you finish this, you would go back once you've got that 72.5 or better, and the first homework assignment would open for you. That homework assignment is now going to be the application of those 2 learning objectives that you just learned about in that first lecture assignment. So in this case, you have 6 questions in this homework assignment. They're covering learning objectives 1 and 2. You will see that a lot of them always have the ebook link at the top. So if you're getting stuck, you can click here. It's going to open the ebook to the exact section where you can find that information. Most of them will have a show me how video, not all of them, but most of them will, and it will show you how to solve a similar problem. There's a calculator built in. You can actually print it out if you want to do it by hand. Every one of these questions, so all 6 of these questions, you get to check your work 3 times, and again, it keeps track for you down here. You can save your progress at any point and come back and work on it later. However, if you've saved your progress, please make sure that by the due date and time you've come in and actually submitted your assignment for grading. The system is not going to submit your assignments for you, so you have to come in here and submit your assignment. If you don't submit your assignment, it doesn't get sent to me. You don't get credit for it in the class. So please make sure you submit your assignments, not just save and exit them out. You can also email the instructor, so if you're getting stuck on something, click on email in the instructor. It actually is going to take a screenshot of the entire problem that you are working on, and they're also going to give you an email window so that you can email me a question that you have. So you don't have to try to take screenshots with your cell phone and email them to me or on your computer. The system is going to do it for you. So really get in the habit of using that email instructor button if you have a question. And then you can type me a question. When I respond to that email that you give to me, that is going to go back to whatever email address you log into Cengage Now with. So if that happens to be a personal email address, and even some cases Northern Essex email, sometimes the first time I respond, it gets kicked into your spam or junk folder. So if you haven't heard from me for about a day, check that spam folder because I usually try to get back to you no later than 24 hours. So if it's been longer than that, please check that spam or junk folder because sometimes the first ones get kicked in there until you indicate that they're not actually junk mail or spam mail. Also, please don't hit submit assignment for grading until you've actually answered all the questions in that assignment. So again, there's 6 questions here. Don't click submit for grading after just completing question number 1 because it will submit the entire assignment. There's also some wonderful study tools that are available to you in Cengage Now. So you can access the ebook directly through Cengage Now and also through your dashboard that I showed you before in that Word document that you have in Blackboard. So here you get the ebook. You can click on whatever chapter you want to look at. This is a wonderful ebook. Anything that's underlined, you click on, it will give you the definition. You can highlight in different colors. You can add different notes by clicking Add Note. And it will save it to the exact location where you have that note. You can have it read to you, the entire page, or if you just want something specific read to you, you can highlight it and click Read Text. You can increase or decrease the font size. You can print out the entire page. Over here in the corner, under the icon for My Notes, that's where you're going to find a list of every note that you've taken, every highlight that you've done. It will give you the date that you've made that highlight or note, and it will also give you a little blue arrow that you can click on, and that will bring you to the exact page in the ebook where that note or that highlight was done. This is the full book. The speaker, so if you're having your textbook read to you, you can change the voice of that speaker. You can change the speed. You can speed it up or slow it down. You can change it from a male voice to a female voice, whatever you like. There is a dictionary, a glossary, and every chapter has a full set of flashcards that have been made for you. So this is great to run through before a quiz. You can flip the card, quiz yourself on definitions. You can shuffle the deck, and you can actually create your own flashcard if you'd like. Under here, you'll also find adaptive study plan. So the adaptive study plan, again, is another resource for you. So when you click on any chapter to start studying, you will find a list of the learning objectives that are in that chapter. So if you click on any one of those, what you'll find are learning objective specific resources. So here you'll find those show me how videos that are embedded in some of your homework assignments. Tell me more videos. There's extra practice that's done here. So every learning objective is going to list out their different specific resources that are available. And again, they're all included in here for you. You can also take a multiple choice quiz, and this is only for your benefits, nothing that gets graded by me, and it quizzes you on different questions pertaining to the different learning objectives. And at the end of the quiz, it will give you a grade per learning objective, so you can see how well you're doing. It focuses your attention on areas that you need some extra help and some extra practice, and areas that you're doing well. So up here at the top, it will keep track of your progress. So any learning objective that you've passed, it will turn green. Any objective that you haven't, it will be red. And once you've passed those colors will change. It will also give you a suggested study plan. It will suggest some things for you to look at in areas of learning objectives where you struggled. So they might suggest a certain show me how video for you to look at, or read a certain section of the ebook to get a better understanding. And you can retake that quiz as many times as you want and see how your progress improves to see if you've done better in terms of having a better understanding of the learning objectives. Cengage now has a lot of wonderful resources, but they're only wonderful if you take advantage of them. So again, the key thing with an online course is scheduling time every week to work on it so that you have the opportunity to really go ahead and see all the different resources, to come get extra help, to retake an assignment. So that is going to be vital for you for your success in this class. If you have any questions throughout the semester, please never hesitate to get in touch with me. I look forward to working with all of you this semester.